Let's start with the debt ceiling. Failure surely is not an option. The sovereign rating is at stake, global economic and market stability is at stake. Cooler heads will prevail?
Well, one certainly hopes so, and we've been here before almost annually over the last 100 years, I think it is. But I think what the concern is at the moment is that we go back to 2011. And 2011, as you will recall, heralded the Budget Control Act. Now, I think it's important for people not to put this in the same context as 2011. In 2011, the unemployment rate was about 8.5, rates were at 0. The world is in a very different place today. Notwithstanding that, we do have this ongoing brinkmanship. And obviously, the President spoke to the House Speaker, I think from Air Force One, earlier this morning or late last night, Asia time actually, and they're going to meet again today. So this is critical. Now, Janet Yellen, on the other hand, we were talking about the 1st of June, which you mentioned before. We're now looking at the 15th of June as being a potential inflection point in terms of the ability to a government to pay its various bills, tax bills, etc., etc. So we really need to crack on with this and get this done as quickly as possible. The market is already a little bit schizophrenic because of what's going on with rates, which I'm sure we'll talk about. So having this additional complication on top is something that, frankly, that we could do without.
So, as you said, we've seen this movie before. We shouldn't really be jumping at shadows, and neither should we be Pollyanna about this and blithely naive about the risks. What are you telling clients about how they mitigate the debt ceiling risk, Roger?
Well, I think in the short term, we just have to accept that there's going to be a certain amount of noise, a certain amount of toing and froing. We shouldn't jump to any early conclusions. We must remind ourselves that at each point when it's come to the brink in the past, it has ultimately been resolved. Now, we don't think we're going to have a replay of the Budget Control Act in 2011. We may well do. And obviously that is where the concern is, because if you have something like that, then obviously you have major moves in risk assets, and that's what people are concerned about. So to answer your question, say, hang on, let's just see how things play out. The dialogue is literally changing every few minutes at the moment, so let's not jump to any early conclusions. But the reality is that we are running out of time to solve this. Our own view is that it will be solved, and it will be solved in time.